Hello, race fans. This has been a long time coming, but the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series is all the way down in the deep south in the state of Texas, as we are here live watching a fabulous sunset over Texas Motor Speedway, getting ready for the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series All-Star Open. Now, we have 30 drivers in this field, and we have drivers who have had a bit of a rough start to the season, but tonight we're going to be shaking things up. We're going to have two 20-lap races to determine the four drivers who are going to make their way into the All-Star race, which will take place a few days from now, as we have lots of rookies still trying to make their names known in the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series, as well as a few veterans. And not only that, we do have some returning faces here who actually have driven in the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series in the past. But not only that, I also have a special guest commentator in the booth with me, a multiple-time winner in the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series, and he actually competed in the championship last season, but came up just a little bit short. Say hello to driver of the number 31 out of Twinex Racing, Dillon Poteet. Welcome to the booth.
Thanks for having me, Trent. It's been a long time coming for sure, and should be a good race here tonight. Get to kind of see what we expect for the All-Star race later on, and maybe get a couple of ideas what to do, maybe to try to win that all. But we got a lot of drivers here wanting to compete to try to make it to the big race, and I'm not expecting anything less than excitement tonight, that's for sure.
Oh, well, I'm sure you know this more than anyone. I mean, you've been a stable in the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series since season 2. And you decided to bring your talents out of Everham to the Twinex Racing stable. And speaking of Twinex Racing, we have one of the many drivers actually making their return to the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series, and that is driver of the number 46 Pilot Flying J Chevrolet Camaro, and that's Sean Henley. Last season, when he drove for Twinex Racing, he was in his own number, the number 25. But since he got rid of the number and decided to take the season off, he decided to make his grand return here tonight to try to get into the All-Star race. And he is a former winner of the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series.
Yeah, it's good to see Sean back. I hadn't seen him in a while, and decided we pull out a third car for a third team for the weekend, just for this occasion. Hopefully he joins me and James up there in the main race and get all three of the Twinex cars up there battling for the All-Star race event. So looking forward to it, and it's good to see him back.
Well, a track like Texas Motor Speedway, you can see a lot happen, and we also have another returning face starting right beside him in the number 29 car, one of the cars being brought out into the Richard Childress Racing stable. We have Jackson Harrison. Now, Jackson Harrison, he's formerly known as Aaron Williams, who used to drive last season. He was actually in the number 48 in the NASCAR SEGA Cup, and he has stepped away from the sport as a whole, but he has decided to dust off the old racing suit and come back. He is the owner of the old PORWC racing stable.
Yeah, it's another familiar name that a lot of us are accustomed to seeing back in the day, and yeah, he's going to see what he can do with this RCR 29 car and see if he can get it to the front, try to get one of those transfer spots. And yeah, it's definitely been an interesting field to see, that's for sure, with all these guys coming back. So it means a lot to be in the SEGA Cup Series, and these guys, even just for one night, are glad to be back and definitely are hungry to try to get in and try to win this.
And there is one more driver that I would love to talk about, someone you and I both know very well, and he's actually driving the developmental car out of the Team Penske stable, and that's driver of the number 33, Charles Jackson, who's starting right beside Kyle Matthews in the 77, and actually starting in front of another Penske driver who had a chance to win last week but came up short, Dylan Young. And actually, last season, Charles Jackson actually did win the All-Star race when he drove for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, I guess he just had that urge to come back and try to defend his crown for sure this season, and do it in a different car manufacturer and everything. So I'm definitely going to see what he can do and see if he can go back-to-back this season for the SEGA Cup All-Star races.
Yes, this is definitely going to be a spectacle to enjoy indeed. As we take a look at our front row consists of Allison Rain, driver in the Spire, Motorsports number 7. Both her and Kyle Mattis are going to try to get into the All-Star race with their teammate Ron Acosta, who won the Brickyard 400 last season. And starting a second, we have yet another driver who's making their return to the NASCAR SEGA Cup. That's Joshua Collar taking the number 15 from the Michael Waltrip Racing stable. And speaking of Michael Waltrip Racing, he's going to have a teammate right behind him in the number 55. That's Jacob Knapp making his SEGA Cup Series racing debut. And he's going to have to get some points from Joshua Collar because last season, Collar drove the number 43.
Yeah, and Collard, he didn't come to America just to lose. He had to come for a purpose. He had to leave his country over in the United Kingdom. So he definitely wants to come over here and try to win this. He doesn't want it to be a wasteful trip down to Texas.
Well, these guys, they're going to have 40 laps to try to determine which two drivers from each race are going to try to get into the All-Star race. Well, I hope you're ready, and I hope all these fans here are ready here tonight, as we're just seconds away from those famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Get our rhythm. Get ready to rock and roll today. It's a long race. There will be a lot of pit stops. So just go out there, do what you got to do. No mistakes. That's the big thing today. Just no mistakes.
And as these drivers are rolling off pit road, here is your starting lineup for the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series All-Star Open. As the drivers are now coming out of turn 3, Allison Rain and Joshua Collar, they're gonna have 28 other drivers trying to do what they can. A lot can happen in 20 laps. Nathan Hudson and Jacob Knapp are gonna be in the second row. Dylan, what kind of racing do you think we'll see here at a track like Texas Motor Speedway as the pace car is about to make its way onto pit road?
It's going to be very fast. I think we're going to see a lot of crazy racing here at the start of the race. And like a phoenix, let's go racing in Texas, boys.
I could not have said it better myself, as Allison Rain is already looking deep to the inside, and she's going to have a bumper full of Nathan Hudson as the drivers are now heading out of turn 2. As you can see, the wonderful prints of them just rolling down the racetrack.
Yeah, I think the qualifying is definitely going to be key in this race, but also at the same time, the characteristics I think is going to be, there may be a lot of shuffling in and out here as we get the 6-car Nathan Hudson going for the lead under Allison Rain. I think we're going to see a lot of lead changes in this race, and just being in the right place at the right time at the end and stay out of trouble is going to be key in this race to try to move on to the main event.
Yes, as we now take a look at the spectators camera, now we see Jake Rogers trying to make a move to the inside. And oh man, they're already trying to go 3 wide for second place right now. As Jake Rogers, with the help of Kyle Matthews, he's looking to try to get the lead away. And oh man, they're just racing incredibly hard. Now Kyle Matthews, he's looking to try to get the lead. But here comes Dylan Young now. And oh man, they wasted very little time making it 3 wide.
Hope the drivers knew this was a 20-lap race, not a 3-lap race.
Oh man, they're trying to go 4 wide here. They're going 4 wide.
They saved it.
Oh, how in the world did they save that? That really could have been a lot worse. But it looks like Simon Oscar in the 91 is really going to try to escape with that lead as the pack is separated a bit.
And the big loser in that whole deal was our pole sitter, unfortunately. Allison Rain got smashed into the wall, and I'm pretty sure she just fell all the way to last. That was a very unfortunate deal there.
I wouldn't say that the pack is really too far separated. We have a few cars breaking away as we take a look at the number 45. That's Benjamin Miles from 2311 Racing. And oh man, he is getting an insane run on the inside. He is all over the back bumper of Dillon Young.
Yeah, 2311 Racing bringing out another car for this weekend. Maybe to look forward into the future, maybe bringing a second car up to Sega Cup's main roster. But good showing so far as he's going for the lead now on Dillon Young.
As we head further back, now we see Jacob Knapp in the 55. He's trying to bring his teammate Joshua Collar along with it as they're trying to fight for the top 5 position. As Benjamin Miles, he just took the lead away from Dillon Young.
Yeah, and Jackson Harrison has gotten himself up there. He's in that 29 car. He's going for second here. And Joshua Collard is also coming back up here. So we have some comers and goers. Collard's one of the guys that stayed up front so far in this race from starting up front. So he may be a player here at the end of this race.
Yes, Joshua Collard trying to work together with his Michael Watson Racing teammate as both the 55 and the 15 are looking to try to get the lead away from the 29. But as that's going on, here's another one of the developmental drivers, and that's one of the drivers who's got some right side damage on his 99. That's Reggie Fogelman out of Trackhouse Racing.
He has a good looking car there too. Looks like he's starting to catch up to that main front part of the front pack there. He's one of the cars got a lot of right side damage along with the 22 there, Mitchell Collins. I guess the damage is not affecting the cars enough to really slow them down. I guess they're okay.
As we head further back, now we see the 47 out of JTG Daughtry Racing. That's Pichu London, and he is trying to get up there with his lead pack. And these second set of cars, oh man, they're running dangerously close up in front as they're going 3 wide, really close for the lead. As we now see Jacob Nagin and Jackson Harrison, and they're making it 4 wide for the lead. This is going to be dangerous.
I don't know if it's going to work, boys. They may clear it up. 45. Oh, we got turned.
Oh, we got trouble. Big trouble.
Oh, that's the big one.
Oh, yes, a big one at Texas, wasting very little time as we now take a look at Jackson Harrison, who just took the lead away from Jacob Knapp. And here comes Pichu London trying to work on the inside of the 55 as they're racing back to catch the yellow flag.
The better question now is to ask who's left. That looked like a huge crash on the front straightaway as Harrison here will take the caution flag, and now we got to see what the carnage was left over from that wreck.
As we can see smoke just piling in from turns 1
and
2, and oh no, Joshua Collard. Wow.
Well, I jinxed him. Sorry, Josh.
He was really running up in the front. As you can see, the damaged 5-hour Energy Toyota there.
Got a smoker up there too.
Oh no, that's Dustin Stoller in the number 8. Oh man, Dustin
Stoller.
He's been running, and it looks like we had another accident in turns 3 and 4. And oh no, that's the number 79 of Dylan Abrahamian. Actually the best friend of the number 91, Simon Oscar, who just pulled into his pit. And oh man, there's a little bit of damage to Dillon Young also.
Yeah, there's the 99 with damage there. Reggie Fogelman also sitting on pit road already. A couple of these guys are up front and fortunately got caught up in this big crash. Oh, there's a 45 right there who started the crash, Benjamin Miles. Man.
Wow.
Looks like this. Yeah, it looks like 79 just pulled it to the garage right there. It's her first retiree. It probably won't be the only one. And the 47 here, Pichu London's actually going to win off pit road.
Wow. But, well, we run into trouble until the halfway point of this race. Let's head to the replays and see what happened to the first 2 accidents of this thing. Now, this was, I believe this was on lap number 2. Heading into turn 3, it looks like Reggie Fogelman just clips the number 77 of Kyle Matthews and the 22 of Mitchell Collins as numerous drivers get right into the turn 3 wall. And we were amazed how none of these drivers ended up getting into a huge wreck. But the drivers who got the worst out of it was Allison Rain back there, who's just scraping the safer barrier. And as we see, Mitchell Collins stuck on the high side. And we actually see Cole Deaver gets into the apron, but he manages to keep it going. But the drivers who really got the worst out of that were Kyle Matthews and Jake Rogers over in the 94.
Yeah, I guess we were getting a preview of what was yet to come, which will be coming up in the next replay, but they did a great job in this one to keep everything together, but not so much on the second one, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. Now, here's what happened to actually brought out our caution. They were going 4 wide from second place, and just as they hit the travel and about to cross the start-finish line, Dylan Young hooks the right rear quarter panel of Benjamin Miles in the 45, and that just sends both cars heading right into the safer barrier as Benjamin Miles spins out right in front of Joshua Collard, and then that just starts a huge chain reaction there as the wheels lock up on the 15, and he just ended up crashing right in front of the field. And oh man, Joshua Mudd gets right into the rear of Jared of Reggie Fogelman, excuse me, and then Dylan Abrahamian, he gets into it, and oh man, Alex Drayton, he also gets a little bit of the piece there as well as Cole Deaver in the number 3.
Yeah, the 14 to 3, I don't think they got too much damage compared to a lot of these. Well, they hit that wall, but I was kind of keeping an eye back there. I'm thinking Sean Henley may have snuck through that wreck. I saw him stopped in front, like right there in that 46. And James Qualls also, I think, may have escaped the wreck. Let's see, maybe to double check. These guys back here probably pile in as well.
Okay, let's play it back again in slow motion. And you may be right. I don't think Henley got involved. He's right behind the 5 of Joshua Mudd as the 26 of Daniel Voiles. Well,
I mean, he may have pushed through, but I mean, he, for the most part, I think, avoided this wreck. He may go for a spin as well. I see Qualls right there in the 70. He looks like he may have snuck through there right there in the middle of the 70. And there's the 8 car. We saw him with a lot of damage. Where did he get that damage from? 14. Oh, Drayden. Oh, no. They wrecked again. I jinxed them. And 8's going to... Yep. 8 hit his teammate. Does 16 get through that? Oh, he almost did. Pace car just went through the 5.
Yes, it's just a chain reaction, and we're gonna have to just we have to do a lot of rewinding because a lot happened in this. Okay, there's Mitchell Collins on the 22, and then there's Daniel Voiles on the 26.
I look back even further. We'll get to that in a second, but I think the 6 and the 33. I think the guy in the very back may have actually stopped in time to avoid even the second part of this mayhem. These guys back here.
Okay, there's the 16. I was trying to get to it. I think the 16, he gets a little hit from Cole Deer, but that's Jareen Ridge.
98. I thought the 98 almost got through there. Aaron Macklin got a little bit damaged there. I think the 6 car of Nathan Hudson snuck through there, and so did Charles Jackson, the 33. For the most part, everybody else here, not so lucky, looks like. 26 got damaged. Oh, Sean got turned. He ended up getting damage after all. He's got the 15 stuck on him. Allison Rain may have gotten away with that too, and the 37 doesn't look like he has a lot of damage. Preston Plard, we actually haven't talked about him either.
And Preston Plard, he actually gets into the back of the 26, but I don't think nothing else really happened there. And something happened in turns 3 and 4, and I'm trying to find out exactly what happened. It may be right here with William Brock and Nathan Ormond. I could be wrong though, because something else happened here.
Yeah, we did see those tire marks over in 3 and 4. I'm not quite sure what may have happened, but yeah, nonetheless, a lot of the field just got taken out.
Yeah, it did. I might have to fast forward, but don't forget. I mean, there's still more. I'm trying to find out what happened in turns 3 and 4. I don't see
somebody get hit.
Somebody might have gotten hit. Oh, these guys are going incredibly slow. There it is. Cole Deaver.
There was a checkup. I think they crossed the line the lap before, so they're trying to get. I think the cars are trying to get back in the order that they crossed the line. So that's why the 45 was flying through there in the 3. Yeah, and the damage, the 16, Jaron Ridge didn't have a lot of damage, but now does. And the same can be said for Cole Deaver now.
This is almost like what happened in the Coca-Cola 600 when Cole Deaver was in a red, and all of a sudden he got clobbered by the 78 of Ron Acosta.
Yep, and I think he's going to do it again. Oh, okay.
That might be a little bit of animosity between Cole Deaver and Jareen Ridge.
I think Christina Bell's just like, please don't hit me. 40 card. That's another one of those cards that snuck through there. Like, well, we got more.
and there's more. It looks like Preston Plord gets into the back of Aaron Macklin. Wow, just a lot happened in this first wreck of Texas, and we still have We still have less than 10 more laps of racing to go. At the time of the caution, Jackson Harrison was the race leader, but will he still be the leader after pit stops? And here we are back at Texas getting ready for the restart. We're going to restart with only 7 laps to go. And we have lots of drivers who are not out of this race. But they are going to get another chance in the second race. But once you're out in the second race, you're done. Anyway, here are the drivers who are not out of this race. There are Dustin Stoller, Reggie Fogelman, Joshua Mudd, Joshua Collard, Mitchell Collins, Sean Henley, Dylan Abrahamian, Jake Rogers, Nathan Hudson, and Allison Rain.
And we are back green, and we got still a handful of cars here that can still battle for those top 2 spots to advance to the All-Star race. So right now in the transfer spots are Pichu London and Jacob Knapp right now. So we'll see what's going to happen here. I think it's going to be a lot calmer now. We have less cars, but there's still a lot of hungry drivers here wanting to take those top 2 spots, like the 38 here and the 42.
Yeah, we'll see about that as Brett Kennenberg, he's trying to get into the All-Star race with his teammate Charles Sanford. As Brett Kennenberg, he had a decent run in the Coca-Cola 600, and he could have had another one if he didn't find trouble at Sonoma last week. And he's looking to try to get into the lead to try to take that away from the 55 car. He's already in the final transfer spot right now as we take a look at William Brock, who is all over the back bumper of P2 London.
Got about a 4-car breakaway here. Simon Oscon's trying to get back up there in the 91, and then it's a little bit of a gap back to Jackson Harrison back there. So we're going to see. I think the draft is going to kind of play factor in this last couple laps. There's not a lot of cars now, and these guys may have a little bit of trouble catching that front pack.
Well, the more that these guys keep swapping over for the lead, that's going to allow these other packs to try to chase them down, but the laps are indeed winding down as we now take a look at Christina Bell in the Carvana colors of her number 40, trying to represent for Sega Motorsports. She needs to try to get up there with her teammate if she wants to try to get into the All-Star race with Joshua Osborne, who won earlier this season at Atlanta.
Well, they were 3 wide there. It looks like for a second there, 38 of Brett Kennenberg got shuffled out. Now we got ourselves a 6-car pack. And another factor, I think Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! Holy cannoli, Daniel Boyles almost pulled the Kevin LePage here at Texas Motor Speedway. He nearly got clobbered by the lead pack.
I was just going to say, these other cars we don't see on the screen are very slow. We may run into them before the end of the race. We about just got to meet a couple of them right there on that turn. Good Lord.
But Jacob Knapp, he's going to try to do whatever he can to try to defend that lead. But here comes Simon Oscon being pushed by Jackson Harrison as we only have 2 laps to go to determine the first transfer spots.
Yeah, this is going to be a tight battle. It's just about being in the right place at the right time. We got 8 cars up here battling for 2 spots. Nobody wants to give those spots up. It's going to be a dogfight here for the last lap or so.
Simon Oscon hanging on to the lead, but he might not have it for long because here comes Jackson Harrison to take it away as we're coming to the white flag. The white flag is now waving here at Texas.
That'll be a good time to get down to the bottom just like that 55 car did. Jake Knapp's going to get right there. There he goes.
And the 55, he's already trying to make his move over the 29. He better do what he can to protect that second place finish because here comes the 2 Sega Motorsports cars, Christina Bell and William Brock.
And it's going to be a dogfight for that second spot. 55 timed it perfect.
Yes, he did. Jacob Knapp, and just as they're about to catch lap traffic, Jacob Knapp, he will transfer himself into the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series All-Star race and also making his return to the All-Star race. Jackson Harrison out of Richard Childress Racing bringing that number 29 with him. He will get the final transfer spot as he will qualify for the All-Star race.
There's a lot of drivers here, I'm sure, are very happy this race ended and it wasn't 1 lap longer because that was probably going to be a disaster with 3 cars up ahead very slow. The timing of that couldn't have been any better for the top 2, but nonetheless, congrats definitely to the 55 Jacob Knapp and the 29 of Jackson Harrison. But now we got a question now is who's going to advance in the second one?
Oh yes, we do have to figure this out. The 55 and the 29 are in, so that So that's going to leave 28 more drivers left to settle this thing. Christina Bell is going to have to start in dead last, and starting on the pole for the second race is actually going to be Dustin Stuller. Like I said, if you retire out of the race, this is still the first race. You're gonna have one more shot. It's the second race that mostly matters. If you retire out, then you're done. And hopefully these drivers have learned their lesson. Hopefully we won't see another huge crash like we saw in this race.
And hopefully starting up front is not going to be a jinx like this first race too. So finishing not so great in this first one, then going to be starting up front with the invert. Should be interesting, but I definitely don't expect any of the action to slow down or calm down, that's for sure. It's going to be an interesting race for sure for the second part.
Oh, well, but we still have 20 more laps to settle this, and we have 2 more spots open for the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series All-Star race. Who is going to benefit from it, and who are going to be our other 2 drivers to try to race their way in? Stay tuned, because we're about to find out very shortly.
What's he looking for?
I think he's looking for savings. I can't watch this anymore. Stop! There's an easier way. We compare your Progressive Direct rate to other top companies so you get a great price. No more running around. Wouldn't you love to see the world through his eyes?
I bet I look like the strongest man in the world.
The best place to find a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
As the field is now inverted and these drivers are rolling down the back straightaway. Hopefully these drivers have learned their lesson. As Dustin Stuller, he's going to start this race out from the pole, and he's going to have Reggie Fogelman right beside him in the number 99. Dillon, what do you think we're going to see for these final 20 laps?
Well, I'm hoping they learn their lesson from the first race and have a little bit calmer deal here. Just like I said, it's a 20-lap race. It's still a somewhat long race here, and I'm hoping we see a little bit more racing. But you never know here. These guys are going to try to make it to the Sega All-Star race, and they're going to do all they can to do so. As pace car is off, and for the second round, and a second time saying this, like a phoenix times 2. Here we go, racing again at Texas.
Dustin Stuller with a nice jump off the line. He's going to have Joshua Mudd right behind him in that number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevy.
Yeah, it looks like the inside got a good run there at the start. The 99 may have been sleeping there on the start and backing up just a little bit there, him and Sean Henley.
Now we see Joshua Collar trying to push Joshua Mudd into that lead. It's almost the Joshua and Joshua show on the inside, as both Joshuas are working together to try to take that lead away from Dustin Stuller, and they're trying to bring Mitchell Collins along with them.
And it didn't last very long. Collard's like, I've got places to be, and I already been wrecked once. I'm not letting that happen again. Best place to be? Out front. Try to avoid all the mayhem behind you.
Now we see Joshua Collar with a move to the inside, but now he moves to the outside. Now we see Mitchell Collins in the 22. He's looking to try to make himself over to the front, as Dustin Stuller, he dives back down to the inside.
Yeah, the 22 looks like he tried to put a block there on the 8. Mitchell Collins didn't want anybody to get underneath and put him 3 wide. It's about the time the last race we started having some issues. I think it was lap 2 or 3. I'm not sure. I don't see the ticker at the moment, but it was about the same time. It looks like. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to turn the ticker on. My mistake. As we now take a look at Sean Henley, he's raced his way trying to get into the top 5 here tonight, represented for Twinex Racing. He wants to get into the All-Star race with his with actually you and James McLeod, rather, since both you and McLeod are in the All-Star race.
Yeah, I'm trying to be the commentator, not the team owner here, but don't want to play any favoritism. But it would be nice to see the third car get into the race for sure. Definitely know Sean would like the same, but there's a lot of these one-offers that are definitely trying to get up there, and this is their last chance. I mean, they don't show up next week for a race, as the 6 car just got on the wall and the 2. But I mean, this is their only race of the season, pretty much. So it's now or never, or you're going home for the rest of the season.
You are right, as we now see that Joshua Collar, ever since he's took the lead, he is not looking back, and things have definitely calmed down here in this race. They're obviously not racing as hard as they were in that first race, but now we see Mitchell Collins. He's trying to get all over the back bumper of Joshua Collard now. As Mitchell Collins in the Penske Racing stable, both he and Dillon Young are trying to get into the All-Star race with their teammate Danny Wells.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see them get in there. I know, big team right there and doing what they can, but I'm starting to think maybe that the inversion of the field may have been a big beneficiary for a lot of these drivers that had no shot in the first one. And right now, the track position, it looks like it's playing off big time for a lot of these guys.
And it looks like Joshua Mudd in the 5. He's going to look to try to make it 3 wide. Can't quite get it there yet, but he is all over that left rear quarter panel of Mitchell Collins. But Mitchell Collins, he's still benefiting from here, as we now take a look at Daniel Voiles in the 26. One of the drivers taking a run here in the Rouse Racing stable.
Yeah, he had a close call in that first race. We saw him coming up. The leaders actually almost got him when he was going to pit road. We almost had a pretty bad accident there, but luckily nobody got caught up and nobody was wrecked in that deal. But I think he's trying to forget about what that happened. But now he's up here trying to get one of these spots, and right now he's gunning for one of those top 2 spots. And I think we had problems in the back there.
Oh yes,
somebody was spitting on the apron.
Yes, I literally just saw a car going around, but I don't know if the caution is out, as Joshua Mudd, he just took the race lead. I don't think the caution is out. No, it's not. We're still green.
I think it was on the apron. I'm not sure who that was. We may have to look and see who's lost the pack. Uh-oh.
It's just it's Cole Deaver right now. There's Brett Kinneberg, who's just leaving his pit stall.
Yeah, and there's the pace car didn't leave, so definitely still under green. Not quite sure what happened there, but there was a stack up in the back, and I guess since they spun to the apron, there was no yellow, and oh boy, we're 3 wide for the lead again.
3 wide for the lead. Once again, these guys are honestly running safer, but at the same time, they're still gunning it, as we now see Reggie Fogelman. He's trying to make it 3 wide for the lead, but he wisely backs out of it, as Joshua Collar with a little bit of run on the outside, as we just passed the halfway point of this race.
This was the point in the last race where we had the big wreck on the front straightaway, and starting to ramp up here just a little bit. They were pretty much nose to tail or a couple double wides, but now we're seeing 3 wide just about every lap now. It's getting a little bit dicey up here toward the front. Ooh, the 99 was in a really bad predicament.
Oh,
yikes.
Yeah, as we now go to the spectators camera. No challenge right now for Joshua Collar in at number 15 out of Michael Waltrip Racing. He actually wants to get into the All-Star race with his teammate.
Yeah, and he's doing what he needs to be doing. He's been pretty much up front almost the entire race here, and I don't think he has any intentions of giving up that lead. And the 2 Joshuas right now are trying to edge away, and that 45... Oh, Henley! Oh, he got trouble!
Sean literally just gets turned by Daniel Voiles. And he nearly gets clobbered by Jake Rogers. And that's some... Oh no.
Christina Bell, right. Wrong place, wrong time. And they're still wrecking. Oh, big wreck on the front stretch.
Oh, they're still wrecking. Wow.
And
I'm guessing that was the calm before the storm.
The 15 car is on pit road pitting. Were they needing to pit?
Well,
okay.
Well, the Coke 600. Well, it's the Coke 600 all over again, as we now see that Sean Hillian is completely up in smoke. Pichu London was an unfortunate victim of that, as well as William Brock. Both of the Sega Motorsports drivers have got into trouble, and that is the start of it all right there. The 46 of Sean Henley, and I think it's safe to say that he won't be racing for those final 2 transfer spots. He's going to have to rely on the fan vote.
Now, I'm not 100% sure if this may have caused it or not, but I think the leaders were pitting there, and there was a checkup, and there was a stack up and it caused some people to go up high there. I saw a few of the leaders. I saw the 8, the 15, the 5 were sitting on pit road changing tires. So, and there they are right there. So I don't know if people were checking up and people weren't aware they were pitting. I didn't even know they were going to have to pit this race, honestly. But crazier things, I guess, have happened here.
Well, the 46 has completely done as he putters his way onto pit road. We're going to have to head to the replays and see what exactly happened. Okay, now this took place just a few laps before the caution came out. They were heading 3 wide into turn 3, and it looks like Allison Rain came down onto the 3 of Cole Deaver, and that made the 3 car come up right into Allison Rain, and she just hooks the 3 right into the safer barrier, and Cole Deaver nearly tumbles, and he manages to save it and keep going, and the caution did not come out, but yes, there were actually drivers trying to come down to pit road, and I'm trying to see if I can find the best coverage for this as Simon Oscon gets into the right rear quarter panel of William Brock, and he actually ended up turning the 42. That's the car that went around that we saw while we were looking at the leaders.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that was on the 3. Actually, I think it was on the 3 instead of the 7. I think the 3 kind of threw it in there and pushed up into the 7. They kind of got stuck together. And then this looks like a stack up here, and they were just all trying to avoid the 3 car there. And unfortunately, the 42 there, William Brock, kind of got spun there in that situation. Didn't get the benefit of the yellow flag. But it got worse.
Yes, it definitely did. Let's go take a look and see what happened exactly. Now, here's having to brought out the caution for this segment, and it turns out it was a 3 wide situation between Alex Drayton, Dylan Abrahamian, and Reggie Fogelman, as the 14, 79, and the 99 went 3 wide. Jake Rogers was an innocent victim in that. 2 Abraham cars get into it with the 14 and the 99, and Nathan Orman, he just narrowly avoids the 79 and the 14 there.
48 was in a close deal in the first race, too, in that big wreck, and narrowly escaped this one. I think a little bit better off than the last one. And this is not even what we mainly saw. I think we had 2 wrecks simultaneously happen at the same time. We saw Sean Hindley and Daniel Voiles actually get together in the initial live view, but I think these happened at the same time. Just 2 different incidents at the same time. And almost 3. I thought...
Yeah, this is what we actually saw live. As Sean Henley, he, as there were drivers about to make their pit stops, he gets hooked in his right rear quarter panel by Daniel Voiles in the 26.
Yeah, this is an unfortunate deal for a lot of these drivers here, and wasn't aware about the pit stops and what kind of strategy was going to have to go on, but I guess we were going to have to start looking at that, but now we may not know because this happened here. And unfortunately, this is not the end of it. We saw Dylan Young also spinning here in the 2. I believe does the 26 come down?
I believe while he was coming to his pit, he ended up getting hit by the 47 of P2 London.
Let's see here. He's coming down here. They're stopping up ahead. Is there a stack up here? Oh, here. Okay. Well, here comes. There's the 47.
Here's P2 London coming into view, and yep, there's the contact.
I don't think the 47 was trying to pit. I think they were just trying to avoid the crash. And we're going to have to back up there because there's Christina Bell's. Her damage, looks like it's probably terminal for that car. But I think the 47 was on the apron to avoid the crashes, but it actually hit a car pitting. Oh, oof. Avoided the 14 there pretty well.
Yes, Christina Bell narrowly avoids the 14 of Alex Drayton, but unfortunately, I think she was trying to get out of the way of Sean Henley, as you see her trying to go to the outside, but unfortunately, she couldn't get out of the way in time, and she just clobbers the back of the 46.
And you imagine trying to control one of those race cars that fast. These things are, 3,500 pounds. It's hard to control as is, and you're having to swerve around a couple cars. I think she just was trying to predict where the 46 was going to go, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out.
And it still doesn't end there. We had more contact. We had another wreck take place with Kyle Matthews as we saw more drivers spinning out. Oh, teammates. Teammates. Wow, Preston Plore just slams the back of P2 London.
Oh, I thought Kyle Matthews was going to get through the crash there and still got caught up. And Charles Jackson got a piece.
Charles, he got a little tab of it, but I think he's fine.
Simon Oscon.
Yeah, and Simon Oscon, he also got in trouble.
That wreck was a lot worse from the other camera angle at the start-finish line, because I remember seeing a car flying when we looked at it, but yeah, it's not a good look for a one-race teammate there. Preston Ploward running in the back of the 47 there at P2 London, but it's going to take both the JTG Daughtery cars out of the race.
Yeah. I mean, they still have a chance to get to the fan vote, but unfortunately, they're not going to be racing for those 2 transfer spots here.
And the sad part here is this wreck's still not over. We may have one more person that may get back in this wreck.
Are you sure? I thought that was the last thing we saw. Oh yes, William Brock. And William Brock just slammed right into the back of P2 London.
The car that spun initially half a lap back somehow managed to get in a wreck 30 seconds after it happened, it seems like. One of those deals, unfortunately.
Yes, and now
no comment.
Both JTG Daughtery cars were involved, and both of the Sega Motorsports cars were involved.
Yeah, there was a lot of team owners there not very happy. A lot of their cars just got taken out in this wreck, but nonetheless, we still got a race to finish out here, and still got some competitors battling for these 2 spots, and I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens next and see who's left.
Stay tuned, race fans.
Hey, look at Sean.
And here we are back for the All-Star Open, and we're going to restart with 4 laps to go, and we have a few drivers who are not out of this race. Now, luckily, Cole Deaver, he's 4 laps down, and he's still going. Now, apparently, William Brock was black flagged, and I guess he was no longer being scored, so I guess he took himself out of the race because he is disqualified, and he will finish dead last if Cole Deaver can actually pass him in the next 4 laps. But Alex Drayton is out, Christina Bell is out, Simon Oscon, Preston Plore, P2 London, and Sean Healy are now out.
Yeah, that was an interesting deal. And we did have some people pit. I think Joshua Collard's going to be the first car with tires and fuel. Now, I'm not sure about these top 7 or how everybody pitted or not. Could play a factor,
our leader,
may not.
once we get back underway, is P2 London. Oh, wow, fail. No, our leader, actually, is Mitchell Collins. Now, Brett Kinderberg in the 38, he's at the tail end of the lead lap, but if he gets past, he will go 1 lap down. But anyway, 2nd place is Benjamin Miles, 3rd is Sky Commons, 4th, Aaron Macklin, and 5th is actually a fellow Kentucky native of yours, Dillon. That's James Qualls.
Yeah, he's been quiet. We haven't talked about him this whole race. He's up here at the right place at the right time and has a chance to get into the Sega All-Star race right now. And looks like the leaders are disposing of the 38 car of Brett Kenningberg because he's not really in contention for a spot, and they want him out of the way. And that 22 car definitely looks like wants to keep that lead. And him and the 45 were roughing it up there a little bit before that yellow came out. I'm not sure if something was going on between those two, but now we found them 1 and 2 here in the 2 transfer spots.
Yeah, but right now, Mitchell Collins, he's trying to do everything he can to run away with that lead, but time is running out. You don't want to get too far ahead, otherwise you get freight trained, as both Mitchell Collins and Benjamin Miles are in the final transfer spot, as you now have 2 laps to go. But here comes Sky Commons with the help of James Qualls here. They've been running in the Sega Cup Series all year. They don't want to get show up by one of the drivers who's actually making their Sega Cup Series debut.
Yeah, right now the 22 and the 45 are actually pulling away from the field a little bit. I think that 38 car is kind of holding up Sky Commons and him on back right there. And if I was these top 2 guys, I would have stayed nose to tail. But you know them, they're racers. They want to win this race. Doesn't matter if points or not.
White flag is out for the final lap here of the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series All-Star Open. And Benjamin Miles, he is running side by side with the 42. But these guys are running side by side. Mitchell Collins, he's going to try to get a run on the outside now, as we now see Brett Kinderberg in a horrible spot right now. It is between the 45 and the 22, and with a strong run coming out of turn number 4, it looks like that this race will indeed go to Benjamin Miles.
Well, I guess it's going to take a little bit longer for them to get back together there, but top 2 kind of snuck away there, and now we got our 2 last transfers in.
Benjamin Miles, he will join his teammate Brendan Crasta, who actually won Sonoma last week, beating out Alex Drayton and Dylan Young, as both he and Mitchell Collins will get into the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series All-Star race.
Yeah, and congrats to them for Benjamin Miles and Mitchell Collins there. I think they did what they had to do there on that restart. They got around the 38, and I think they were having trouble behind them getting around that lap car, and they, most of the way, ran single file and kind of pulled away, and then they raced among themselves, and 45 got to 22. Doesn't matter, though. Because both in.
Yep. Sky
It's a pride thing, I guess.
Sky Comments, Aaron Meckler, and James Qualls end up with a top 5. If Brett Kenneberg wasn't there spoiling the party, they definitely would have had a better chance. Both of the Joshuas ended up 6th and 7th right now. These guys, they're going to have to try to depend on the All-Star vote, which will be in the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series group page on Facebook, so don't forget to look into that. Nathan Orman ends up 8th. Dustin Stella, the pole sitter, falls back to 9th, and we have Jareen Ridge in the 16 out of Colleague Racing. He ends up with a top 10 here tonight. Then we have Charles Jackson, Dylan Young, Nathan Hudson, Allison Rand, and Jake Rogers rounding out the top 15. And then we have Daniel Voigt, Dylan Abrahamian, Kyle Matthews, and Reggie Fogelman ended up being the last car on the lead lap. I thought Brett Kenneberg was the race leader, but he just missed. He just got stuck behind the pace car. He was at the tail end of the lead lap, and he just wasn't a factor for tonight. He'll have to settle for a 20th place finish a lap down.
Yeah, I thought the guys that pitted, I thought it was going to be an advantage for them, and I thought there was a possibility they were going to have to pit even just for fuel or something, but I was made a fool right there, so I guess neither one of those really worked out, the guys that pitted, and then obviously having to pit up front, so I guess this bad circumstance for the two Joshuas who we thought were almost locks, I thought, for a while there to get the top 2 spots, but they're unfortunately not going to get to go, but congrats again to Benjamin Miles and Mitchell Collins. Both ran a heck of a race there and was up there when it mattered, and now they're going to go to the big show.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of no fuel, former Twinex Racing owner Sean Henley, he's going to have to settle for 22nd, and hopefully he'll get into the All-Star race with you and James McLeod by winning the fan vote. He was one of the drivers who were out of this race, him including with P2 London, teammate Preston Plore after that little kerfuffle that they had in the front straightaway, Simon Oscon, Christina Bell, Alex Drayton, and I believe this is only the 3rd time I've ever seen a disqualification ever in the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series. William Brock out of Sega Motorsports ended up getting black flagged, and he just took himself out of the race.
I'm honestly really curious on how he got disqualified. We may have missed something during the broadcast, but one of those weird deals that you see in this game sometimes, and nonetheless, we got a disqualification in an open race.
It may have been when he spun out earlier on pit road, and then he passed a commitment cone, but he actually didn't take his pit stop. He may have gotten black flagged after that.
Yeah, he may have hit the line and went back on track. Who knows? Did his own thing, and I guess once he found out he wasn't advancing, he took himself out. Gave himself an early exit tonight to go home.
Well, race fans, that does it here for the NASCAR All-Star Open. The next time we will come back to Texas, it'll be for the actual All-Star race. And Dylan, I believe you have a car to prep up for and a tracksuit to get yourself into. I would love to thank you for coming up to the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series sports booth. It was great to have you.
Thanks for having me. Hopefully take the notes I learned from tonight and what to do and what not to do and put it all together and hopefully get the 31 car for Twinex Racing in Victory Lane, the All-Star race. So definitely need to see us get in Victory Lane soon and get our season turned around, and like I said, we're pushing for a playoff spot. So I know it's not a points race, but win's a win. Definitely want to see one of the Twinex cars hopefully in Victory Lane here. So we'll see what happens. And thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Well, race fans, that does it here, and we're about to get ready for the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series All-Star race. Congratulations to Mitchell Collins, Benjamin Miles, Jackson Harrison, and Jacob Knapp, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!